What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, saints and inks, and welcome to Lactic Acid. I am your host, Dominique Smith. Today, just wanted to do a very brief track talk episode. Definitely wanted to give the distance crew some love. We talked about the sprints. Colin Waitsman came on, did a comprehensive breakdown of the sprints when it comes to the USA Outdoor Championships. So we just wanted to talk a little distance, but I wanted to do it from the perspective of a few things and a few events that stood out to me. So first and foremost, congratulations to all the men and women from the men's 5K, women's 5K, women's 10K, men's 10K, the 3,000 meter steeplechase, the 800, the 1,500. Wonderful events and just incredible performances. And so a couple things stood out to me that I wanted to just briefly share with you all. And then I want to hear, what stood out to you? What are some of the things that stood out to you when it comes to the remarkable performances that we saw? So, first things first, definitely got to talk about this 800. And so, I'll be honest with you, I was of the mindset, and that was some of it was just listening to the commentary during the race. I was just thinking, all right, man, some of these guys are going to get DQ'd, specifically Isaiah Harris, Bryce Hoppel, in that race because there was some pushing and shoving, some physicality, but nobody got DQ'd, and I think that's for the best. Look, the time, you can make do with what you will. Obviously, I think everybody knows that got to step up our game a little bit if we want to compete with some of the other nations. But shout out to Bryce Hoppel for making the team. Shout out to Clayton Murphy as well as Isaiah Harris for making the team. They ran great races. They ran strategic races, and they were able to overcome the physicality that was in that race. The women's 800. So we know a thing, Mo, who we're going to get to in a second. She's sticking with the 800. About to get to the women's 1,500 in just a second. Nia Atkins, man, what a race. What a race that she is having. She took the win in the women's 800, followed by Raven Robbins, Kayla Edwards. It's in third right now. Kayla Edwards does not have the standard. I believe, and I still have to see how that works. I don't want to, spread any misinformation or anything of that nature. But right now, the person who would have that standard would be Sage Herter Clucker, who finished fourth. And so it was a little bit slower of a race when it comes to the time. You're not going to see the 155s, whatever the case might be. We may see that at Worlds, but for the time being, man, I thought that it was a great race, well run, and it's going to be a good group headed over to Budapest. The women's 3,000 meter steeplechase stood out to me. Chrissy Gear had a hell of a race, man. That was an incredible race that she put together. I'm not going to sit here and say I had her winning. I did not. But she was able to put it together and beat some legends. Emma Coburn, when you talk about 3,000 meter steeplechase in the United States, um, Emma Coburn's been the standard for so long. And so just the fact that she was able to beat Emma Coburn and put together a great race and beat a great field was incredible. Obviously, there was some issues going on. I know Courtney Frericks, who just posted on her Instagram. I'm glad that she's been cleared to run and she's going to keep trying to run this season. She did suffer an injury, but I am excited to see the team that we have going over, which is Gear, Courtney Wayment. She came in third, and then Emma Coburn came in second. So can't count out Emma. We're going to do World Championship picks in August, so please stay tuned to that. And I'm looking forward to hearing your picks as well. Um, but there were, and I want to get to that in a second. But if you didn't see the men's 3,000 meter steeplechase, y'all, let me tell you something. Kenneth Rooks, brother man, fell down. I'm talking Donnie McClurkin. We fall down, like fell down, got right back up, popped right back up, made that team. How did he make the team? He won the race. The kid from BYU ran personal best, fell down. Think about that. You fall down, come back, run a personal best, 8:16.78, to take the win over Bernard Ketter and Isaac Updike, man. That was incredible. Like, you talk about perseverance, you talk about resiliency, talk about determination. That's what that kid showed. That was definitely one of the highlights of the meet. So just had to give a shout out there. So there's two races that I want to touch on. Like I said, won't hit all of them up. Just wanted to pay some homage to the 10K, um, specifically the men's 10K. Woody Kincaid took it home. Shout out to Sean McGorty, making the team in the 10 and the 5. Clucker, Joe Clucker, making the team in the 5K, rather. Ooh, talking too fast. And I got the results on my computer. Obviously, going through them once again, makes sure to refresh. You got Nur, who took home the win. Chalimo, where did that speed come from? Chalimo bought it, guys. So that was exciting to see, where he was concerned, taking second place, getting that standard. And then as we're talking, Sean McGorty, like I said, he made the team in the 5K, but he also hit the standard. He went overseas, into I forgot the classification, but it is a world athletics meet. And he just hit the standard. So he's going to be going in the 5K. We'll see if he chases the standard in the 10K and what he'll do for that. But want to get to the women's 1500. That one, the men's 1500 was legit. It was legit. Like, not gonna front and say that it wasn't. Shout out to the three that made it: Garrett and the Goose, um, Wascom and Cole Hawker. Hawker and the Goose have the standard. Underneath that, we're looking at Hobbs Kessler, who has the standard. And so that was a very entertaining race. But the women's 1500, man. First of all, everybody was curious what Athene-Mo was going to do and how she would run. She's an 800-meter runner. She hasn't run a 1500 meters since college. This is the first time she's running it around. Well done, Athene-Mo. Well done, Athene-Mo. I was very impressed, and I see what Bobby sees now. I don't know about a double. That's crazy. Um, but shout out to her because she ran an incredible race. She led most of the race. She controlled the pace, came out, and ran a great race. Corey McGee takes third, Athene-Mo takes second. But Nikki Hiltz, boy, y'all, let me just say this: nobody's touching Faith Kipyegon. Let's just get that straight. You know, but that was a great final stretch. And the thing that impressed me the most about Nikki Hiltz, she did not panic at all. As the late great Stuart Scott says, cool as the other side of the pillow. And so, shout out to her. Great race. She takes the win. That leads me to my final point. My star for the most impressive performance or performances of the meet has to go, just in my opinion, to Elise Craney. Has to go to Elise Craney. Elise Craney, and that's why I think she is a great example of forget what you see early in the season. It's about who shows up at the biggest moment. And Elise Craney showed up at the biggest moment. Wins the 10K, gets the standard in 10K, circles back a couple days later, wins the 5K. That's the race that she knows, and that's the race. And if you saw it, part of that race, she was chopping her steps. So when you chopping your steps, you're ready to go. And Elise was ready to go. Sister Craney was ready to go. It's funny hearing the post race interview. She contemplated, whether to run the 10K or the 5K. I'm sorry, or the 1500. She is a very capable 1500-meter runner, and she put that 1500 in that last 1500 meters of both races, and got a well-deserved win. Really looking forward to see what she can do. I think she is Team USA's best shot in the distance races at getting a medal. I'm putting the Goose up there as well. If he performs to his capabilities at the biggest stage, that is. So yeah, that is all we have for today. Just wanted to quickly recap the distance. Thank you, everybody, for your support. Please be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way, you're updated on all things lactic acid as they come to be. Got some cool things on the horizon, so please be tuned. Please stay tuned for that. Follow us on our social platforms. Got the link tree linked down here. Thank you all. Love, piece of chicken grease, and we will catch you next time.